What if the secret to staying independent well into your 80 seconds and 90 seconds isn't found in a gym, but in the simple way you move each day? In Japan, a country known for having the highest number of centenarians per capita, more than 9,000 people are living beyond 100. And they're not just surviving, they're walking to the market, tending their gardens, sitting with family on the floor, and moving through life with a kind of grace and strength that has baffled researchers around the world. Meanwhile, here in the United States, millions of older adults are being told to hit the gym, buy expensive supplements, or sign up for trendy exercise programs in the hopes of staying strong and sharp as they age. But what if we've been looking in the wrong place all along? What if the movements that truly support longevity, balance, and brain health aren't the flashy workouts we see on TV, but quiet, consistent habits woven into the fabric of daily life? Today we're going to explore 6 everyday movements practiced by older adults in Japan. Movements so gentle they're often overlooked, yet so powerful that they've been linked to lower fall risk, better brain function, and greater independence in later life. These aren't exercises, they're not fitness routines. They're life-affirming rituals backed by decades of science, and they may just change the way you think about aging. Before we begin, let's consider what the CDC recommends for adults over 65 here in the U.S. At least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity each week, plus 2 or more days of muscle-strengthening exercises and activities that improve balance. But here's the truth: most seniors struggle to meet those goals. In fact, according to national health surveys, only about 14% of adults over 65 actually meet both the aerobic and muscle-strengthening recommendations. That's not because of laziness. It's often due to pain, fatigue, fear of injury, or simply not knowing where to start. That's why the first movement we'll explore is so important. It requires no equipment, no gym membership, and no special clothing. It's called Sampo, or intentional slow walking. At first glance, it may seem too simple to matter, just walking slowly. But in Japan, older adults treat Sampo as a sacred daily ritual. They usually begin their mornings with 20 to 30 minutes of this gentle walk, often before breakfast. What makes it different from regular walking is the pace, the posture, and most importantly, the breathing. Instead of rushing, Sampo is done at about half your usual walking speed. You breathe in for 2 steps, hold your breath for 2 steps, and then exhale slowly over 4 steps. This creates a calming rhythm that synchronizes your heart rate, nervous system, and breathing in ways that boost mental clarity and physical relaxation. Scientists from Kyoto University followed over 3,000 adults aged 60 and older for a decade. Those who practiced Sampo daily had 62% less arterial stiffness and significantly lower blood pressure compared to those who didn't. And the benefits go beyond the heart. Walking slowly allows your feet to make full contact with the ground, heel to arch to toe. This activates all 33 joints in each foot, sending signals through the nervous system that improve balance and coordination. In one study, Western seniors who adopted Sampo for just 8 weeks improved their single-leg standing time by an average of 45 seconds, a huge leap in stability. The technique is easy to learn. Start by walking on a flat natural surface like grass or a dirt path. Avoid treadmills, they disrupt your natural foot mechanics. As you walk, focus your gaze 6 feet ahead. Let your arms swing gently, hands relaxed and fingers slightly curved. With each step, roll from heel to toe and match your breath to your pace. Inhale for 2 steps, hold for 2, and exhale for 4. It might feel awkward at first, but over time this rhythm becomes second nature. And here's something to remember. Morning is the best time to practice. That's when cortisol levels are naturally higher, making the calming effects of Sampo even more powerful. Just 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Start small, be consistent, And most importantly, treat it not as a workout, but as a moment of connection with your body, your breath, and the world around you. Because sometimes, the simplest movement can have the most profound impact. Now that we've experienced the power of slow, mindful walking, let's move into a morning practice that has become a beloved tradition in Japan for nearly a century. It's called Radio Taizo, or radio calisthenics. Every morning at exactly 6:30 a.m., a gentle piano melody plays across the national radio network in Japan. That music signals the start of a simple 3-minute stretching routine that millions of Japanese people, young and old, perform together right in their living rooms, parks, or workplaces. But don't let the word calisthenics mislead you. This isn't a high-intensity workout or anything close to traditional Western exercise. Radio Taiso is a flowing sequence of 13 light movements performed without any equipment and completed in just over 3 minutes. What makes it powerful is its consistency and design. Each movement is linked to the next, keeping your body in gentle motion from start to finish. There's no pausing, no holding your breath, no forcing. It's graceful, rhythmic, and surprisingly effective. The benefits are both physical and neurological. Researchers at Osaka Medical College studied over 8,000 Japanese adults over the age of 60. Those who practiced Radio Taiso every morning had 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic lower back pain, and maintained a much greater range of motion in their shoulders and hips, even into their 80 seconds. This isn't magic, it's movement done consistently with care and intention. From a biological perspective, these dynamic stretches stimulate the production of synovial fluid, the natural lubricant inside your joints. As we age without regular movement, this fluid thickens and decreases, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and joint pain. But even a few minutes of gentle movement done daily can reverse that trend. In fact, just 5 minutes of low-impact motion in the morning has been shown in NIH studies to significantly increase joint mobility and circulation in older adults. The sequence itself begins with slow arm raises, while inhaling deeply, opening the chest and enhancing lung capacity. Then come light arm circles to mobilize the shoulders, followed by gentle twists through the spine that maintain flexibility and improve digestion. Side bends stretch the muscles between your ribs, helping you breathe more freely. Then leg lifts and shallow squats activate the hips and knees without putting pressure on them. There's no jumping, no jolting, and no pain. What's most remarkable is the timing. Performing Radio Taiso right after waking up makes use of the body's natural hormone rhythms. Growth hormone peaks during deep sleep, and your muscles and connective tissues are most responsive to stretching in the morning. That's why Japanese elders often do this before eating or even drinking water, so their bodies can take full advantage of that moment of readiness. If you're new to it, you don't need to learn all 13 movements at once. Just begin with arm raises and gentle spinal twists. Let your breath lead your motion and move as if through warm water. The goal is not to burn calories or break a sweat, it's to reawaken the body and prepare it for the day ahead. Over time, this practice becomes a kind of moving meditation, centering, calming, and deeply nourishing. And now we shift to a position most Westerners have almost forgotten, but one that Japanese elders use every single day to rest, to garden, and even to chat with friends. It's called the deep squat rest. Imagine walking through a park in Japan and seeing a group of older adults comfortably sitting in a full squat, heels flat on the ground, back straight, chatting or pruning plants. They're not exercising. They're just resting. But here's the surprising part. This position strengthens nearly every joint in your lower body while decompressing your spine. It's a natural human posture we've lost in the West, largely because of chair-based living. A study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed 5,000 seniors over 12 years. Those who could maintain a deep squat for just 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of needing assisted living. Their hip mobility stayed strong. They could get in and out of chairs and bathtubs. They maintained independence years longer than their peers. Biomechanically, the deep squat keeps your hips, knees, and ankles in full range of motion. It stretches the pelvic floor muscles important for bladder control and allows the spine to elongate naturally, reducing pressure on the discs. It also enhances circulation to the lower body and engages core muscles more effectively than sitting. If you haven't done it in years, that's okay. Start by using a wall or a chair for support. Place your feet slightly wider than shoulder width with your toes pointing slightly out. Lower yourself slowly, and if your heels don't reach the ground, place a small rolled towel beneath them. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds at first, then rise gently. Repeat several times a day, not as a workout but as a pause. Over time, these short rests can rebuild mobility that most believe is gone forever. Japanese elders often squat to tie shoes, tend flowers, or wait for the bus. They've integrated it into daily life without even calling it exercise. And maybe that's the lesson: the body remembers what we give it every day, not what we push once a week. Balance is something we often take for granted until it starts to slip away. That's why the next movement may surprise you with how simple it is. It's called single leg standing, and in Japan it's not just a casual recommendation. Doctors actually prescribe it. For older adults, it's considered a form of daily preventive medicine, often practiced in the same way one might take a vitamin or a blood pressure pill. And the science behind it is remarkably strong. In a 15-year study conducted by Fukuoka University, over 1,200 older adults were observed. Those who practiced single-leg standing for 1 minute on each leg twice per day experienced 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer falls requiring hospitalization. But the benefits didn't stop at fall prevention. Brain scans revealed increased gray matter in two critical areas: the motor cortex and the cerebellum, regions that control coordination, movement, and balance. Here's what makes this so effective. When you lift 1 foot off the ground, even just an inch, your entire body begins making thousands of small adjustments every minute to keep you stable. These adjustments train not just your muscles but also your neuromuscular pathways. Your proprioceptors, the tiny sensors that tell your brain where your body is in space, become more accurate. Your inner ear, which controls balance, becomes sharper. Even your vision plays a role, as your eyes help guide and stabilize your posture. To begin, stand near a wall or sturdy surface. Gently lift 1 foot and focus your gaze on a fixed point about 10 feet away. Breathe normally and try to hold the position for 30 seconds. Then switch legs. Don't worry if you wobble, that's your body learning. As your confidence builds, you can increase the time or challenge yourself by closing your eyes, which removes visual input and forces your internal balance systems to do more of the work. Many Japanese elders do this while brushing their teeth. That way, they integrate the practice into their daily rhythm without needing to set aside extra time. Once balance improves, some add gentle movements like turning the head or lifting the arms overhead while balancing. These small variations keep the brain engaged and prevent adaptation. Research from the Mayo Clinic has even shown that the ability to stand on one leg for 30 seconds is a strong predictor of longevity, more reliable in some cases than blood pressure or cholesterol. It's a tiny test with a big message. Stability is the foundation of independence. And that brings us to one of the most underestimated yet powerful practices in healthy aging: the floor sit to stand transition. In Japan, it's common to see people in their 70 seconds, 80 seconds, and even 90 seconds moving from standing to sitting on the floor and back up again multiple times per day. Whether they're enjoying tea, sharing a meal, or watching television, floor sitting is a part of everyday life. Why does this matter? Because transitioning between floor and standing involves almost every major muscle group in the body. More importantly, it requires coordination, balance, joint mobility, and spatial awareness, all working together in real time. It's like a full-body workout disguised as a daily habit. The University of Tsukuba conducted a large-scale study involving over 1,000 older adults. The results were eye-opening. Those who regularly practiced floor transitions had 40% greater lower body strength and 50% better hip flexibility. But here's what really stood out. Their scores on cognitive tests were on average 15% higher than their peers. Researchers concluded that the movement involved in rising from the floor stimulated the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive function center, because it required sequential motor planning, balance control, and decision-making. If you haven't sat on the floor in a while, start slow and use support. Begin by kneeling with one knee, then the other, until you're resting on your heels. From there, shift into a cross-legged or side-sitting position. To return to standing, bring one foot forward into a lunge and push up slowly, using your hands if needed. Placing a cushion or yoga mat on the floor can make the transition more comfortable. Even just 2 or 3 floor transitions a day can make a difference. And over time, as strength and confidence grow, you'll find it easier to sit and rise without support. In Japan, this movement isn't labeled as exercise, it's simply how people live. But studies from Brazil and the US, alike, have found that the ability to rise from the floor without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of long-term mobility and survival. So, whether you're tying your shoes, playing with grandchildren, or reaching for something under the couch, remember that each movement to and from the floor is not just functional, it's a practice in longevity. And now we come to the final and perhaps most surprising movement of all. It's called the towel twist, a deceptively simple practice that requires nothing more than a small hand towel, yet has been credited by many Japanese elders as one of the most powerful habits they've ever adopted. It's not a stretch. It's not strength training. It's something in between what scientists call an isometric activation, and its effects go far beyond the muscles you can see. Here's how it works. You start by holding a rolled-up towel horizontally in front of you at about shoulder height. Your hands should be about 18 inches apart. Then, as if trying to tear the towel in half, you pull outward, creating tension through your shoulders, arms, and core. While maintaining that steady tension, you slowly twist your upper body to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. You hold the twist for 3 seconds, then return to center and repeat to the left. That's it. But as you'll soon feel, this movement activates everything from your deep spinal stabilizers to the tiny muscles in your feet and even your face. Researchers at Toku University in Japan used electromyography to track muscle activation during this movement. They found that towel twisting recruited more total muscle groups than traditional sit-ups, push-ups, or even yoga poses. It also triggered higher levels of myokines, special proteins released by contracting muscles that help reduce inflammation, improve blood sugar regulation, and even stimulate the growth of new brain cells. In fact, NIH researchers have found that isometric exercises like towel twists may be uniquely effective at protecting brain health through a process called neurotrophic signaling. But the towel twist doesn't just target the body. It challenges coordination between the right and left sides of the brain. Because the movement is symmetrical and requires focus, it enhances what's known as bilateral integration, the ability of both hemispheres of the brain to work together efficiently. This matters. Studies from Mayo Clinic and Harvard have shown that bilateral movement exercises can improve memory, reduce the risk of cognitive decline, and enhance mood through activation of the vagus nerve. To practice this safely, start with light tension and a small range of motion. Breathe slowly, inhaling as you return to center and exhaling as you twist. That breathing pattern alone stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, helping reduce stress and promote better sleep. Many Japanese elders perform this movement first thing in the morning and once more before bed, just 1 minute each time. Over time, the effects build. Grip strength improves, which the CDC has identified as a key marker of functional independence. Posture improves. And perhaps most important of all, confidence in your body grows. Now, as we step back and look at these 6 movements together, something becomes clear. None of them require weights, machines, or workout clothes. None of them demand long hours or high levels of fitness. They're slow, thoughtful, deeply human movements designed not to push you past your limits, but to help you reconnect with your body in a sustainable way. From the calming rhythm of Sampo walking to the gentle stretches of Radio Taiso, from the grounding rest of the deep squat to the balance and brain training of single-leg standing, from the strength and coordination of floor transitions to the deep, full-body activation of the towel twist. Each of these movements supports something that truly matters: mobility, independence, cognitive clarity, and daily confidence. You don't have to do them all at once. You don't even have to do them perfectly. You can begin with just one, a few minutes in the morning, a few movements before bed. As the weeks go by, you'll begin to notice something. Sitting down becomes easier. Standing up feels more natural. You walk with more awareness. You feel more stable brushing your teeth or reaching for something on the shelf. These little shifts matter. They add up. And more than any supplement or machine, it's these habits that determine how you age. The truth is, aging isn't something we need to fear or fight. It's something we can prepare for with kindness, intention, and movement. Japanese elders have shown us that healthy aging isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things every day in small but meaningful ways. So, which movement speaks to you the most right now? Is it the quiet walk outside, the deep squat you've been avoiding, the towel twist you never thought could be so powerful? We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your story, or your questions in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, consider subscribing. We have more senior health tips coming your way every week. Until then, move gently, breathe deeply, and know that every step you take toward mindful movement is a step toward a longer, stronger, more joyful life.